Welcome to the second episode of Monday Night Arena Fight. We are going to do a quick draft of Hour of Devastation, so let's get right into it. Alright, well, I'm even less sure about this set than I was Kaladesh, so let's see. I think that is a way to push through damage at the end. There's a counter spell. That's removal. That's removal. I think we'll take the Sand Blast. Just straight up good removal. Resolute Survivors seems good, and I can get into the Exert deck. Ramunap Ruins is a way to stretch and deal extra damage. Hazoret's Undying Fury could be fun, but that'll probably wheel. So yeah, let's go with the Survivors. Okay, so now we're looking for Exert. So it's probably going to be Vizier of the True. Yeah, since everything else is not really our colors, we don't want the Gideon's Defeat or the Aketra's Last Mercy. So yeah, Vizier of the True. Okay. Okay, I think we'll go with the Dauntless Aven. This allows us to untap our Exert dudes and get more use out of them whenever it attacks. Defiant Kenra's fine as a 2/2 for 2. Nothing else in our colors, really. Overcome as the slightly weaker Overrun is pretty good. But there's another Dauntless Haven, which is a 2/1 flyer, as well as having synergy with our deck, so we're going to take that. Okay. That's fine. That's a good attacker. That's flyer. We're not really in the zombies deck. And we don't really have any Entomb or, Embalm or Eternalized creatures, so it's expensive though. I think we're gonna go with the Moloch. There's really nothing here I want. We could play the Paramount as a 2-drop. I don't really have a way to deal with this. So in a real draft, I'd probably just be hate drafting this so that somebody else doesn't get it. But because there's nothing really else here, I'm just gonna risk it. Okay, Active Heroism. That's a good combat trick. And this is a good way to push through damage. Let's take the combat trick for now. We don't really have any big creatures that need to gain trample, so I think we'll just take another Moloch. Okay, that's probably not bad. Just get rid of Entomb or Eternalized creatures. I'm not really looking for solutions at the moment, so I think I'm going to take this Gilded Ceradon, just as some late game beef. Combat trick. Helps push through damage at the end. Rare draft that we're not going to use. And doesn't Mummy Paramount. Alright, second pack. Well, there's a Braid. That's probably the take here. Just because it's 3 damage to anything, or get rid of a artifact that we're having problems with. There's another Sandblast. Another Moloch. And Frontline Devastator. One of these I'm sure will wheel. So, yep, let's take the Abrade. Okay, well, there's another Resolute Survivors. That's pretty good. Or Oketra's Avenger. Oh, we hope this wheels, or the Open Fire wheels. I guess the Ramanop would be good too. But, yep, we'll take the Resolute. I guess I need to make sure I pick up a Desert too, so that the Gilded Ceradon can do something. Manticore Eternal. I think 5 damage to everything is pretty good. Let's take that. Okay. And Granitic Titan. That's good late game, and I can get rid of it early game if I don't need it. That turns into a 4/4 late game with Vigilance. This exiles creatures from graveyards. I think we're gonna go with the yeah, let's go with the Titan. You can get rid of it early game. There's another Ceradon. Crash through. I'm either Ceradon or Renunciation are the real other choices. I think I'm just gonna take Jiru, just in case we get something cool in the last pack. We are playing in a should be a more aggressive deck, so I don't think I want to take the Hour of Revelation, although having it as a sideboard card would be pretty good. I think the Sunscorched Champion is better for us because we want to be on the attack. We have picked up a few more zombies. So getting the Mummy Paramount may not be out of the question. I guess we've picked up one other zombie. Kindled Fury's a good combat trick. I think I'm gonna go with, I've been drafting a lot of creatures, so we're not really in the spells deck. Although using a combat trick on the archer, let's take the archer. It should be fun. Okay, we'll take a Disposal Mummy just in case there's problems. Sandblast seems good as removal. And well, we have a 5/4, a 4/4, and a 4/3. Crash through may not be so terrible, but well, we already have 2 active heroisms, so I think I'm going to take Crook of Condemnation, though, just in case we run into a big Eternalizer or Embalm deck. Alright, well, there's a 2/2 for 2, or 2/5 for 4. If I remember correctly, these guys, the dutiful servants, are pretty hard to effectively deal with in this format, so I'm going to take them. Steadfast Sentinel now, Renunciation, and a third act of heroism. Okay, so we have Honored Crop Captain, which for our deck is probably really good. We don't want to be in the controlling route, so Gideon's Intervention was probably too slow for us. Alternatively, we could take the Gust Walker for Exert. And the Manticore just as direct damage. Impeccable Timing is yet another removal spell for us, but I still think the Crop Captain's probably our best move, just because we want to be on the attack. Creature gains haste. I think we'll go with the Exert creature for trying to be an Exert deck, so that could be fun. Gate to the Aether Life lets us go through our cards and get rid of stuff that we don't want when one of our creatures dies. And Fanbearer lets us control combat. I'm gonna go with the Consuming Fury, just Fervor, because I just kind of want to play with it and see how it works, or see if it's any good or not. Haven't really been able to play around with that card, not for a while actually, but okay, this is a good finisher for our deck if we can ensure that we can get through. So we'll take that. This keeps us in the aggro plan. And can be a surprise. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. Seems fun. Okay, we got Compulsory Rest, which is a good removal spell. The benefit that they gain 2 life shouldn't matter too much if we're going fast enough. Impeccable Timing removes an attacking or blocking creature and those who serve. Okay. This solves anything. This only solves smaller to medium creatures, so I'm going to take the Compulsory Rest. Fling could be really useful with our Onward, and yeah, I'm going to take that. It's either Cartouche or Gust Walker. Gust Walker has synergy with our deck, so I'm going to take the Gust Walker. Now, we don't have any black creatures, but it doesn't matter because Bantu's Monument triggers off of any time we cast a creature spell, and that just deals extra damage. You know, Ketra's Name is a good combat trick and ensures all our guys survive. And then there's Gideon's Intervention just for the rare draft. I'm gonna go with Bantu's Monument. I think it'll be helpful for us. Sacred Cat, rare draft. Well, we've got a bunch of tokens, so the Anointed Priest might make it. impeccable timing, and those two are. Alright, so now we're going to cut quite a few cards, actually. I don't think the Firebrand Archer's absolutely necessary. We don't need 3 active heroisms. How many creatures do we have? We're running 21 creature cards, so we can afford to cut a couple. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the sideboard. I think those who serve will have other things that we want to do on 3. Beautiful servants are not necessarily what we want to be doing on 4. We didn't really get any planeswalkers, but he's still a 4/3 vigilance for 5. It's not bad. We didn't draft any deserts, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the Ceradon. Okay, so we're looking at cutting 8 to 9 more cards. Let's see, 2 drops. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we'll want to cut some of these. Probably the compulsory rest and I guess we'll take these out and see how it works. Go ahead and take out Mummy Paramount. Could be pretty good, but I don't think we need it. Okay, we're looking at another 4 cards. As fun as this card might be, it's unnecessary, so I'm gonna cut it. Don't want to cut many more 2 drops. That's 4. And we got 2, 4, 6, 7. I guess we're down to 16 creatures, so we need to cut non-creatures, I guess. Maybe 1 more creature is fine. I think I'll take out 1 of the Molochs. And okay, so impeccable timing. Well, let's leave the impeccable timing and go down to 1 Sandblast and take out an active heroism. And that's the 41 that I like. And let's change this up. And there we go. So let's get into our first game. Alright, so we're playing against Deadwalk. That's 4 lands and stuff to do, so we'll go ahead and keep that. And we'll greet our opponent. Hello, Deadwalk. On black. So, alright, start off with a mountain. Then we'll probably run into Gustwalker. Walker out there. Black with there's fun. We do have up to 5 lands, so if he establishes a board, we can actually clear it out. and then start getting in there with haste. Let's get the thorn from Moloch. And the Moloch has first strike as long as it's attacking, so makes it difficult to block. But I would assume if he's playing blue-black, he probably drafted all the removal. And one of the removal. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and play this Hazaret's Favor. And that'll prowess up our Moloch so that we can effectively attack with it again. Or, not again, but effectively attack with it. And he'll have to use his Bane Whip by sacrificing it to kill off the Moloch. Sure. That's what I expected to happen. So next turn we'll get in with the Steadfast Sentinel, and we will probably go ahead and just favor it and get in for 4, depending on what it drops. That way we can internalize it. Although doing that with the Anointer Priest, well, we'll do that next turn. No, let's do the Anointed Priest this turn. And we'll see if he wants to throw his 2/2 under the bus. If not, that's fine. We'll be eternalizing this next turn, or not eternalize, embalming this next turn. We will not Hazaret's Favor it. But let's see what he puts on the board. We might Hour of Devastation if he commits too much to the board. Okay. With the Anointer Priest, this is maybe a little bit. Okay. That's pretty good to start getting on the attack too, but let's go ahead and just eternalize the Anointed Priest. Will not be sacrificing the priest. Because now it's 3/4. Let's see, enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to its power. Okay, and the Steadfast Sentinel. Well, we can't really do 2 things at the moment, which kinda sucks. Still don't want to pull the trigger on this Hour of Devastation yet, so let's go ahead and get the Sunscourge change going. Can make it a 4-power creature. Don't want to attack with the Anointer Priest. This way we'll trade with the 3/4 if he really wants to, and if not, we'll eternalize this next turn and have a 4/4. And we'll discard the Steadfast Sentinel so we can eternalize that as well. Or, if he commits even more creatures to the board, we'll pull the trigger on this Hour of Devastation. members of his team. He's going to get in for 8, so we'll have to pull the trigger on this Hour of Devastation next turn. But depending on what blockers he puts out, we can make this a 3/3 and attack for 7. That's good for us. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll play Sacred Cat. Go to combat. Give the cat haste. And attack with everything. And then if he has a cancel, but we were screwed. Clear up the board. Okay, so whenever we get this card. Oh, when it dies. Okay, so we have the ability to, got what, 7 mana? So let's get out the Dauntless Aiden, Vizier of the True. Give anything haste and lose it. Okay. Well, we can't really afford to take much more damage, so we'll block everything. He'll probably remove the Dead Sentinel. He might do the cat. And the rat has Death Touch. I missed that. Oh, take the Hour of Devastation instead. Okay, well, that gives us the ability to go ahead and present auto tap it. I always forget that I need to make sure that arena taps the way I tap. Move to combat, decline, attack, attack. Okay, he doesn't feel like he needs to solve it at the moment. Let's go ahead and get the Sacred Cat out. From the curse. And unless he starts finding solutions, then I think we're in a good position. We don't need to commit to the board anymore. We've got him dead on 3. And actually, we have him dead less turns. But he doesn't need to know that. I think he might be dead next turn if he doesn't put out a blocker. And there's a blocker. Alright, so let's commit the captain to the board. We'll take 1. He has an Essence Scatter. Awesome. Okay, so instead we'll put out this Titan, which can't be blocked. That'll force him to have to block the 4/4. Means any creature we draw will be almost entirely death. Okay, we still have him dead on 3. I don't really want to go all in on the cat because I don't have any backup plans in case he has a removal spell. Like he's not really committing much. So, let's do a Resolute Survivors. Let's see what he has in his hand. Can't. Okay. So, we could have safely attack. He has to block, and we'll Sandblast it. Has to keep producing answers or else we'll just beat him. Okay, so he's found all we need is another creature, but we don't have one, of course. Decline, no attacks. But he also can't attack us. Of course, he's the third Scrounger of the Sands. Okay, well, we found a fly. That actually has him dead. Because we are going to get a haste. Take action. Always attack. We'll leave you back. Because this will gain life and put him out of range. And that has him dead. Good game, Deadwalk. Okay, we're on to game 2. We are playing the Abyss. We'll let them mulligan, and then we'll say hi to them. This is kind of a risky hand to keep, but we do have a Granitic Titan to cycle away if we don't draw another land, and Braid to solve their early game, potentially a Bantu's Monument on 3. Let's keep it. So, well, I guess what I should have learned from the last game is I should have gone all in on the cat, because the answer he had was not the answer he needed, until I drew out the game more. I'm just a little bit more of a careful player. I'd rather get there inevitably than playing more aggressive deck. That means we will need to be on the defensive, actually. Not a position I wanted to be in with this deck, but that's where we're at. We can afford to take a couple of hits in the early game, though. So we should be able to recoup some of that life with the Monument and some of our other late game. Okay, so we haven't found another land yet. We really want to find a plains. Now, like I said, this was a probably a bad keep, but it's fun. We have something to do, and we have the ability to look through more of our deck, so it might turn out okay. While the Abyss is tapped out, well, I'll wait and see what they do on their turn. Oh, they're playing Grixis. So, take 1, cycle the Titan. Hopefully we'll hit a land. Ah, hit a plane. That's exactly what we wanted. Again, I think we're a little on the defensive this time, so let's go ahead and get out this monument. That'll make sure that we start pulling in some of the life and start recouping some of this loss that we've had. They've placed the mountain that they searched for on with Traveler's Amulet. I think we'll commit the Honored Crop Captain. Okay, that's something that should probably be killed as soon as possible. Otherwise it could become problematic. So let's go ahead and get out the Captain. Trade this guy. Don't want to have that to be a 6/6 and us not be able to deal with it. And we can still solve this creature with the impeccable timing later on, so. Okay, that takes 6 total. Okay, he's doomfalling our creature. It's fine. He was a good creature. Okay, so we have a little bit of a fail-safe now if the board gets too out of control. Let's go ahead and play this Haven. And that evens up the score. Let's see if he has an essence, if they have an essence scatter. It's a guy, but. Okay, we'll go ahead and solve this now. So they've removed a creature as an attacker, so just wait and see what happens until we get some more dudes. The one thing our deck lacks is card draw. And we were hoping to make up for that with some of the embalmed creatures, and that's where we were really going to get our card advantage, I think. This will be good because they expect this to be a 0-2, so we can have a surprise 4 blocker. And even a 4 blocker. And that with because it just keeps coming back. But we'll get out a 4/3. Drain some life. And the essence scatter. This game's pretty over, I think. We can at least block the Locust. Now we can block the one of the Locust. Okay, we're just gonna concede. We can't. So. Game 3 versus Amonkhet. We've got 3 lands and 4 cards. This seems good. We have something to do on 2, on 3, and if we draw a 4th land on 4. So, yep, we'll keep that. And we will greet our opponents. I guess one thing with me is I am willing to see inevitable wins and just take it. Or inevitable wins or inevitable losses, however you want to look at it. So I'm more willing to concede when I know my deck can't solve problems. Okay. We'll take the 1 damage. We have the ability to punch through the Faithful. So, yeah, let's go ahead and play a Plains. Combat, attack. We will exert through Entangler. If they block, we will punch through. Personally, the God-Pharaoh's Faithful is my favorite creature in Standard right now, and I know the power of it, so I just want to get rid of it. In Limited, it's probably less problematic, and it looks like they just drafted it for the Forge Toughness. Okay, we'll go ahead and put out our Resolute Survival, which will be really good with our position. No, we want to exert. Getting used to the new exert is a little difficult. It was different before they, before the last update. There were 2 arrows that you could choose from, so I'm just getting used to the interface. Okay, so they're playing a white desert deck, it appears. Okay, that's fine. We really do want to attack with it, but it's okay if it's still basically just an enchantment. Alright, let's commit Vizier of the True Big Thing, and this will help us remove any blockers that they decide to put out. Okay, it's a 3/2 with lifelink. We're not going to trade with this because our Vizier is more important. Okay, so let's move to combat. We will attack. We'll go ahead and exert the Vizier, but we'll just do a normal attack with the Entangler. Tap the Camel. Give us some damage. During the second main phase, we'll put out our Aven, and because we want to be aggressive, we'll throw out the Honored Captain. And this will allow us, the Dauntless Aven will allow us to attack every turn with a 3/3 Trampler. 4/3 Trampler. Okay, he's got a Guru. And let's see if he if they actually have a walker. They don't. We'll not be trading with any of that. Okay. They will probably trade off with the Honored Crop Captain. That's okay. We'll go ahead and put out a second Resolute Survivors. Move to combat. Attack. We'll attack, and we'll exert. Oh wait, we'll be tapping the Jiru, so it won't matter. 3 attackers. Target a creature I control. Let's get the Entangler. can't seem to select the entangler. There we go. Attack with Jiru. Some life. And because we can win, we'll just fling this. And that's how we do it quickly. Okay, game 4. We have something to do on 1, something to do on 2, a combat trick, and a removal spell. This looks like a perfectly keepable hand, so we'll keep it. Once our opponent resolves their mulligan, we will greet them. And they've already gone down to 6. They scried to the top, so hello. And meet our sacred cat. This lets us go straight out of the gate with an aggressive turn. Go to combat first. And then second main phase, we will unless there's a specific reason to exert this creature, we probably won't be. Black and white. Combat, attack, no attack, no exerts. See if they have any. Alright, so we'll end our turn. That leaves us open to cycle the Titan. Okay, so they've also got an exert guy. He becomes a 4/1 first strike if you exert him on the attack. That is bad for us, but I forgot to cycle the Titan. Oh well. We'll move to combat, attack. We'll go ahead and exert this and get in with the cat. If he wants to trade with the cat, that's fine. If he wants to trade with this, we have tricks. Okay, and then we'll end our turn. So, also, if we don't want to take 4, we can impeccable timing here. We definitely impeccable timing. Or salt blasting, because we don't want them to gain the life back. The life gain in this case is more important than that we would take. We don't want their life total going up. We want it to be going down as fast as possible. Alright, there's the 4th land. We move to combat, get in with the cat. And we'll put out our the True. This will help us punch through more damage, hopefully. So, and because we didn't cycle the Titan, there's a possibility that we'll just hold on to it until we get 6 mana and just have a 5/4 menace. Since I made a mistake earlier and didn't cycle it. Festering Mummy is a difficult creature to punch through. I mean, we'll be exerting our Vizier Metro to tap it, but it's something that we cannot ever let trade with our Vizier at the moment. We'll attack, exert, and attack with the cat. Tap the Mummy. Okay, they have a Sand Blast, which deals 5 damage. We cannot save it, so that's fine, we'll get for another damage. Puts the great life total of 10. That means we're halfway done. We have a fantastic life total that we can just absorb a couple of hits without really worrying about it. So we can take this Festering Mummy. They don't have the ability to have a combat trick because they're tapped out, so we're going to get in with the Sacred Cat. And if they throw their horror in the way, we'll just Sandblast it. Yep, sussed out that. So let's go ahead and get out a 5/4 with Menace. And like I said, it was a great thing that I accidentally did not cycle this, because now we have a board. Again, our life total is high enough that I see no reason to even remotely try and block this. Yeah, we're still at 21. Next turn, we'll have the ability to Sandblast it. That. Move to combat. If they want to block the Titan, they have to block with both. And if we lose the cat, it doesn't really matter. We can just commit to putting it out of our graveyard and back into play. Okay, they're not paying attention that the Titan has Menace, so this block won't happen. And they're probably wondering why they can't proceed. Except that the Titan has Menace. Now, I want our Titan to survive, so... Actually, if I wanted the cat to survive too, I could have it do that. Yeah, let's act a heroism cat. That way we force them to get rid of it. And code our life total even more. Just removes options for them in the later game. So this turn they have to block the Titan. What that means is unless they put another creature on board or they have a removal spell, they'll have to leave these, and then we can Sandblast the 4/4, make sure our Titan doesn't lose that fight. Unless they have 2 cycling cards, or the ability to discard 2 cards. Instead of holding that for cycling, they played it. Not sure why, but I guess we'll see. Move to combat. Attack. If they want to block this, they have to block with both their creatures. Or they have to have a removal spell. Which another Sandblast. Sure. Okay, if we trade with the mummy, that's fine. They don't have to use that ability. Well, we can't commit everything, so we'll go ahead and put the cat back out. Our life total is still really high, so yeah, let's go ahead and go out into your route. Take action. but we'll get in with the Jiru. If they block with one creature, we'll sandblast it. If they block with both creatures, we'll be able to kill off both of their creatures, depending on what this last card in their hand is. So just get in with Jiru. He also has Vigilance, so he won't straight up be available for blocking anything except the 3/3. Okay, we'll go ahead and sandblast this. And we'll get out of Sunspell. Depending on the card we draw, we'll probably keep it in hand just so that we can internalize. Yeah, we don't need more lands. So we're going to go to combat. We're going to attack with everything. They will likely trade with the Jiru, which is fine. And we'll test turn. Combat. Attack. There's no need for us to commit more to the board yet. So we'll just hold back, and that way we don't overextend into some kind of wrath. I'm just going to make a 2/2 so we can solve both of our creatures. Realize they have total so, or they tap their planes, so alright, on to game 5. We get to go first again. This hand is less keepable than the other one that we had 2 lands with. It just doesn't have the explosiveness that that one had, so we'll mulligan it away. Wait for our opponent to choose. Okay, this has 3 lands and the ability to do things, so we will keep it. The Dauntless Aven is fine. It's a flyer, so we'll leave it on top. And we will start our game plan on 2. Playing red, so it's likely that they'll have a removal spell for it, but we force them to have that removal spell. We're playing white-red as well, so this could be a aggressive mirror match. It means one of us will have to commit to being a control player. I do not want to trade the captain for the 2/1. I think they just drafted it. Nope, don't want to. I think they just took this card because it's a 2-power creature for 2. I'm not sure though. So, they could be playing red-white spells, I guess, with combat tricks and removal. But my gut feeling is that they just took this as a 2-mana creature. Yep. A good feeling to have. Okay, so we'll move to combat. I'll just get in with the champion, because again, I don't want to trade the crop captain with theirs. And let's go ahead and get out Steadfast. Blocks well, just like our champion did. So we've effectively put our game plan into the aggro seat and putting our opponent on the defensive. If they wanted to be the aggro game, that's good for us if they're on the defensive, because that means they are not committing their plan as they wanted to. Okay, so they do have some spells. This turn, if we can trade with the Kenra, that would be good. Do we want to put our captain at risk just for the potential to? No, they've probably got a trick, so let's assume the trick and put out the Dauntless Aven. I don't care if the champion dies, so we'll attack with the champion. By saying I don't care, I can eternalize it and make it a 4/4, so. They thought their creatures were... They probably sussed out a trap, so they didn't want to commit to losing one of their creatures for free, or if they double block, getting entirely blown out. And once again, we're in a position where our life total is good enough that we can afford to take a couple of hits. Okay, cartouche. Alright, starting to stabilize. Have a creature that we're not going to be able to punch through. And if they start getting tokens. But they're bringing it in. And that means I don't care. I'll take 3. This is more effective to stop my aggressive runs than it is as an attacker. So let's pretend to have something. Go ahead and get my Moloch out. And I think it's time to commit the captain to attack. We'll use the Aven to untap the champion because it blocks well. So we've got 12 damage coming at them at the moment. They can trade with Captain with one of these two. They can also choose to try and kill one of these two by double blocking, but we've pretended that we have a trap. So, active heroism. And that's why they attacked us. Okay, we'll trade with their Kenra, that's fine. And they'll be able to kill off. I can block the champion as well if they wanted to. With the Kenra. But we'll see if they are paid enough attention to their... Okay, so they're choosing instead to block exactly the same. Okay, we'll go ahead and throw out the Entangler. No sense pretending we have a trick. If we had a trick, we would have saved our Crop Captain. And what we'll do is we'll throw the Sun Scourge under the bus, probably. Right now it's not dying, so it's a good block for us. Even if they kill it, the next card we draw, if it's not a good card, we'll just pitch it to bring back a 4/4, gain 4 life. Okay. Tap those creatures. Okay, a land here is actually something we need, so we'll go ahead and play it. We'll get the and there is no reason to commit anything to attack except, and we'll untap itself. We can effectively block most of what they're going to do, and if they get a full swing out, that just opens them up for a counter attack. We don't want to put our Sentinel at risk. Okay, so here, what we're going to do is we're going to put the Aven and the champion. We'll tap the champion. Puts a little bit more pressure on them. So they'll block. That's fine. And we'll end the turn. If they do not solve this Aven, or if we just keep going the way it is, we'll win in 3 turns, just to the fly block. There's the potential to win a little bit sooner, because we'll get 1 creature through, probably the Sunscorched champion. So okay, so here's a good reason to attack with the Entangler now. So we'll go ahead and get combat and get in with the champion, the Aven. We'll exert the Entangler. The Aven won't untap the Entangler. So we've effectively dropped their... Okay, I was about to say, we effectively dropped their... battle plans by... or their living... their turns that they needed to survive. But they got the Aven dead, so... Okay, that means our Entangler's probably going to die. We cannot commit champion, so that's fine. They are losing blockers. They are effectively at 4, unless they solve the survivors. Okay, Disposal Mummy doesn't hurt us at the moment. We don't have any eternalized creatures. And we couldn't get that back from our graveyard anyway. Okay, so does anything have trample? Okay, what we're going to do is just attack. I should have I should have exerted, but I didn't. That's fine. If they don't block this, we just kill them. Well, I mean, not necessarily, but okay. So this is good for us. We're going to onward our Moloch. Now turn it into a 6-power first striker. And clear the board. Second blocker, and they have a third blocker. Double strike. That means they have to block this. Okay. Don't really care if this survives because it's not enough to stop us. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we have this one. We're just going to get in with an attack. Okay, they're going to take... Okay, we're just going to flame the token. Oh, sacrifice. I think I did that wrong. Okay, fling. Choose the target, sacrifice. Okay, their creature flies. Let's say, Sabotage. Okay, game 6 against a Gev. Okay, we've got 3 lands. Stuff to do. We'll keep it. Lands first. We will go Gustwalker into Moloch. And then we'll have some Moloch backup with couple of instants. Ooh, that might be a better idea. Alright, so Gustwalker. So this can gain flying when it attacks, so unless they go out. Block. Okay, so go ahead and get the Resolute Survivors. There is, other than being able to block, there is no reason for us to not exert now, because it'll deal the same amount of damage one way or the other, maybe 4 over 2 turns, but this way we gain a life too. Missed their land drop, so that's good for us. We'll try the survivors, see if they have the essence scatter. Okay. So we'll exert this attacker. That'll be for 5 damage. Okay, they have a flag. They'll choose the block, we'll trade with it, that's okay. We still have one of our survivors. We'll put out the Vizier of the True next turn. That way we can tap a blocker if they produce one. They just cycle looking for land. They do not find it. Okay, I don't believe there's any flash creatures for a green, so we'll go ahead and go to combat. Get in with both of our exert creatures. Okay, that puts them down to 6, so we will play the Moloch, and that will probably be game next turn if they don't produce a blocker. And they have a blocker. Still possibly game? No, it's not. Okay, so we'll go to combat. Attack. I'll attack. Okay, they're pumping their creature. Move the blockers. Go impeccable timing. So we don't lose our Moloch. Okay, they found their 4th land finally, but I don't think it will matter. Let's see. Okay, we only got a couple more games to go. 3 lands and things to do, so we'll keep that. We will commit to probably the crop captain on 2. Okay, they're playing black, Festering Mummy. Nope, we'll commit to the Amonkhet Priest on 2. Okay, so we're waiting for our opponent. The reason we wanted to play the Amonkhet Priest is it blocks well against the Festering Mummy instead of trading with our Crop Captain. So if they try and get in, we'll just kill it off. The Ruin Rat is annoying, but not undeal-withable. Let's go ahead and put out the Captain. No attacks. No sense getting our creature killed for no good reason. So they have the answer anyways for the captain. That's fine. They'll probably get in with the Ruin Rat, I would assume. Unless they just want to leave it back for blocking. Okay, they did. So let's go ahead and just go into the tank. No attacks, because we still need to trade with a 1-1. And a 1-1 that would get rid of our Anointer Priest. This seems like there is a combat trick, so there's no reason for us to block here. Okay, got a spell. That's fine. In this instance, I think it best that we cycle and look for lands or threats. And again, it chose incorrectly. There is no reason for us not to attack with everything. And we didn't want to exert the Gust Walker, because we'll do more damage over time if we just attack. Okay, so now they have a fly blocker 2-1. Okay, that doesn't bother us. Little do they know that we have this. Combat. This time we do exert, and we'll leave our Anointer Priest back. Because of that, we get to block or tap their blocker, and we have a 3/3 flyer. Next turn, we will probably commit the Sunscourge Champion. See what they have. Let's get rid of this Festering Mummy. Okay, so they're going to turn our Vizier of the True into the 2/1, which is fine. Okay, now our best move. This impeccable timing doesn't kill their Scrounger of Souls, so what we're gonna do is just get in this guy, gain some life. We'll exert our Vizier, and there's nothing that we're blocking with the Anointer Priest. Because of that, we'll tap that, and then if we're attacking with the Scrounger, we will block with our champion and impeccable timing it. Solving the problem. That is annoying. Okay, well, worst comes to worst, we can get rid of the board. What we're going to do, however, is leave the Anointed Priest back. We'll get in with an exerted Gust Walker, tap the rat. Unless they have something for a black that kills our 2/2 or our 2/1. That's more likely. Okay, exert. And when we exert, we can tap this rat. Not that it can block anyways. End turn. Here in a couple of turns we'll be able to get a 6-power double striking flyer. So that will be fine. Okay, we're going to throw the Amonkhet Priest in the way of the Scrounger of Souls. See if they have a trick. They don't, so we're going to do impeccable timing. That will solve. Okay, so that is better for us, because now our creature doesn't invade. Okay, so let's go to combat. Get into normal attack. They probably won't care. And we have to do this. They get to exile our Anointer Priest, or not. Okay. They had his hands. Okay, well, still a pretty good game.